Hi guys, my name is Vijay, and I had this funny idea the other day. I was sitting in my room, a little bored, and I thought, wouldn't it be interesting if I actually made a video and shared some of the knowledge and experiences I gained by working as a business PM in the last few years with the wider community? So here I am, making the videos, and I'll be uploading a series of videos in the next few weeks, and some of the knowledge areas and topics in project management, business management that are close to my heart. So the first topic that I'd like to make a video on is business case, business justification, or due diligence. Call it whatever you want to call it. So why do we need to do a business case before we do any project? Good question. So um, just to give you a little story that'll help you better understand why we need to do a business case before we do any project. I once was given charge of a project that was already underway. I had recently joined the organization. The project had already started, and I was asked to complete the project and also market the services and reach certain KPIs or targets, if you will. So we did exactly that. We completed the project, we marketed the services, and over a period of time, we reached the KPIs. And we patted ourselves on our backs, thinking that we did a real good job. And after the project was completed, the project team was disbanded, everybody went their way. And as a business PM, I was tracking the benefits, I was tracking the costs of consumables for all the BUs over a period of time on a fortnightly basis. And I was also looking at the revenue we were generating in the project, again on a fortnightly basis, and presenting that to the exec committee. So during that moment, I realized that the cost of consumables was way more than the revenue we were generating. So that was a big light bulb moment for me. So if the cost of consumables was 4 times or 5 times that of the revenue we're generating in the project, then it begs to ask the question, was the project really worth doing? Somebody should have asked that question. Somebody should have worked out the details. Why the project had to go forward. There probably was a good reason. I couldn't figure that out. But would have been nice to know what the reason was. So keeping that in mind, we actually implemented a step in our project management methodology. It was every time we asked to do a project, we would do something called as a due diligence, because the company the people in the organization was a bit scared of the word business case, because they thought a business case is a 30 or 50-page document with a lot of detail and blurb and costings and spreadsheets and all kinds of diagrams, and that takes many months to put together. And no, it doesn't have to be that way. It could be that way. It could also be something else. I've seen all kinds of business cases. I've seen Excel spreadsheets. Then I've also seen actually one of the most successful entrepreneurs in Australia, Dori Kadahi. His business case was basically a one-page process flow-ish kind of a document. It was not a 30-40 page document, and look, he's actually created a business that's, I believe, is 300 or 400 million dollars worth in value. So the business case of due diligence can be whatever you want it to be, as long as it makes sense to you and as long as it works. And every company has their own way of working out their business cases. They've got their own systems, their processes in place, and none of them is perfect. And none of them are perfect. What's good for one company may not work well for another company. And that's something that I want you to bear in mind. So, having said that, why do we need to do a business case, right? I know I'm trying to contradict myself here by saying this, but it is true that some of the best decisions in the business have always in the market have always been instinct based. Funny that, hey? So that's because um, it's very hard to predict if something's going to work out well or not. From a business decision point of view, it's not that easy. It's only when you actually make a decision, and when that reaches the market, when you release the product or service into the market, and depending on how the customers react or how the market reacts, you're then able to say whether the decision you took was right or wrong. That's the only way to know that. So, because of this reason, it's only in retrospect we're able to tell why a certain such decision taken by a such and such leader was a good decision or a bad decision. Because it's only in retrospect we're able to provide a logical explanation as to why a decision was good or why a decision was bad. But that doesn't mean that as a business owner, as a sponsor, as a business leader, you should be making decisions in the dark, like shooting in the dark. Um, no, you at least want to have a framework within which you're able to make some informed decisions. The business case is not about trying to influence you to make a decision one way or the other. It's only to give you information on some of the, or maybe make you think on some of the important aspects of the project before you actually implement it. That's about it. If the business case says, no, this project is not really worth doing because of X, Y, Z reason, and you want to do it, you've got a really strong gut feeling that this is a really good project to do, and you're unable to prove it on paper, by all means, go ahead and do it. Um, but and likewise, if 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 the business case says that the project is really worth doing, it's such a great project, and then your gut feeling, your instinct um, says no, it's not really worth doing, and you know the content of the project, then in and out, and you're convinced it's not worth doing the project, then of course the decision lies in your court. You don't have to go ahead with it. But at least having thought about and worked out some of the detail around the project will actually put you will actually um, help you make better decisions. And even if you decide to go ahead with the project, at least you know the risks, the ins and outs of what you're up against, and that I think is a worth enough effort to do. So, okay, business case. There are many ways of doing this, but I am just going to give you some pointers or some of the things that you may want to consider as part of creating a business case. Some of the pointers that I have put together based on my experiences and the environments I've worked in. This can be different for you. If you work in a small organization, small to medium size company, some of the things I say may not be relevant to you. And in that case, just ring in what's relevant to you and ring out what's not relevant to you. And a lot of the things I would say would probably be more relevant for large organizations. So some of the things that I have put together and I use on a regular basis for my projects is number one, working out the cost model. You know, how much does it cost to implement the project? The implementation cost, basically including the cost of the equipment, the costs of implementation for the resources costs for implementing the project, then your licenses, your softwares, your hardware, the consumables. So a whole list of things, everything you need to actually implement the project. Of course, there's the implementation costs. Then there's the operational costs around, your consumables on an ongoing basis, your support and maintenance costs, your resource costs for running the services, your marketing. Don't forget your marketing costs as well. Your marketing costs could be anything for running the service or the business. And also your what I call as revenue or savings that you generate in the project. The benefits in terms of dollars, what are they? have all of that in your cost model, and then within and in that framework, you're able to make a decision as to, okay, is this project a worthwhile project from a cost perspective only? And that'll give you an idea from a cost perspective, of course. So work out your cost model, and next work out your risks, then work out your do your market research. Who who are the competitors in the market? What kind of services do they provide? And all that kind of detail. How do you want to position your product or service? What's your USP? Or do you have any USP? Or do you just want to be cheaper, faster, and efficient? Or do you want to have some kind of a unique proposition? All of that. And then also, one of the things that I would highly recommend is also having a high-level marketing strategy as well. These are some of the things that I would do for my projects. Of course, companies do other things as well, like is it in line with our vision? Is it in line with our organizational strategy? So on and so forth. And in the next coming videos, I'll be talking about each of these points in each point in a separate video. Thank you, and please stay tuned. If you really find this video interesting or you like it, please hit the like button, and also feel free to leave your comments. Thank you.